See this antivirus payment option, we're going to revise this and update it to ANCRES, since the visual transmit information on the snap cards and also the Air Force cable, which is internet service connected to the casino and the reservations, and also the Vista utility lines and the service all the way to Benton County, Benton PUD, which connects to the payment options swiper. Anytime you swipe a credit card, Master, Discovery, Debit, MasterCard's Visa, the APR rate for the services for their convenience, since it's from California, Los Angeles, California, San Luis, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and also Colorado, Billings, and also Butte, Montana, and also the Walker County, Last Custer's Last Stand. The swipe for this procedure is number 1. Another interest compounders is number 2. The other compromise of a contract authorization, number 3, or the valuation for signature addressee, and also from and to, and the post office stamp, that is mark, number 4. See, the download voice recognition is a minute and 20 seconds into the payment options procedure. Now the Benton County Justice Department, New Courts Building, number 1, second floor, number 2. Number 1, number 2, number 3, Superior Court number A, B, C, D, E, F, and also the green and yellow and green and arrows, strippers to the building. The entrance key to the doorways are pretty much self-explanatory because you got the swiping procedure, and also initial CODSAS, and also the affirmative AMR and a ROMRD for the CDL A and B, and also the certificate, and also the contract for $75, $450 plus another $75 for your chauffeur's license, and also your class A and B and C firearms permit. So the ordinance of number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, and the post is a prime election ballot form increments for the signature and also the military ID and whatever the number of the overseas code for the services, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. See, if you do a swipe on number 3, it's going to be option the APR rate for the collective entrance. The water was $2.22, so it was going to be $2.40 for APR rate, and it's supposed to be a flat rate of $2. Instead of that, 22 cents goes into the mystery swipe as being number 2, number 1, number 3, number 4. So we're going to do catch 22. We have the right to remain silent. Anything you use in court of law, and if anything you say will be used in court of law. And this is Andy Miller's doorway entrance away. Andy Miller at Benton County Justice Department, and Benton County, Benton PUD, and the Richland City Hall and Richland City Hall Utilities, which is connected to the City Hall Administration Office and optical wire in the parking lot of the Kennedy Building, which is Senator Pat Ware, and that's Pat Murray, M-U-R-R-A-Y. The real name is P-A-T-T-T-Y-M-A-R-R-A-Y, and Mary Cantwell, M-A-R-I-A-C-A-N-T-I-L-W-E-L-L. And that's the same correct address and footing entranceways from the door entranceways. This here is as the ground 50 feet by 500 feet perimeter, and the entrance doorway, the fence line, the cargo garage on the north and south, east and west of the building, unfinished and also unconventional service devices on the port of 3 and 4, and adjacent from that, it's FGH, and that's a ABCDEF courtroom, Superior Courtroom, and the legalities of them transporting, illegal transporting and processing information by footing, which is on the footing 3, on the, that is the north side of the building, number 3. The south side of the building, number 3, entranceway with the recreation of the fence line and barricades, and the fence line and the garage slot doors where the cellar port entrance door is number 3 on the south side of the building. Now on the west side of the building, where the same entrance, Mr. Andy Miller coming on the entryway number G, and that's on the west side of the building. The other entranceway is the east side of the building, where Mr. Andy Miller has the inquiries and picking up the inventory of the back of the device into the trunk, into the equipment on the east side of the building. Locations on that swipe would be number 1, the number 2, number 3, number 4. It's on the bulletin. It says Benton County Justice Department, 712 Okanagan Place, Kenoka 999-336. Pretty self-explanatory on the number 1, which is the equivalence on the discretion on a policy. We can read that. And number 2, we can read the policy on that on the swipe. Increments American Express, and that's Discovery MasterCard. Number 3, we can do implement on the RC with whack on the JSWs. For anybody speaking or conversating with any officer in out in population of 90, 9 million, 20 million, with all these material witness coming in the doorway. Number 4, we can do handwritten signature with initial and fingerprint with initialing snapshot for the deposit and payment, all in one boodle, for no charge or services at all. Zero charge you, zero, nothing for this increment for number 4. And we're gonna have to say DHCPS office emblems all over the administration office, where they remove the rebar and the routing of the entire 5 surgeries done in here in Annie Miller's office. You can take all the information here. It says mail for payment, DSHS, WSSR number 4, PO Box 4586. That's Kim Williams, Secretary of State, options number 4. Or you can use the interim payment side payments for number 1 county for HTTP secure DHS WASH DSS online. Create the secure access WA, but it's SAW account DCS and service select DC online service registration bank account for the banking and payments within 10 days. Free activate can be via email notification. Receive the activation code, log into your user ID. Or no, you do number 2. Sign up for your automatic payment with electronic fund transfer, HTTP WDHA.WA.GOV, FSA forms filled with number value 18484, Title 8, and apply to download authorizing from 1-800-466-7422 or DHS 18 WAC 484. Request for local DCHS. We can put it on YouTube, Facebook, administration on the credit card swiping. Get the direct deposit and inquiries of full limit payments received since your driver's license and Social Security have been taken by a police officer that assaulted you on the sidewalk, and then he threatened you in public with witnesses and all the testimony at the, of course, First Street. And that's Eric D. Olson, 509-4885. That's 5651. That's Eric D. Olson, and that's property 610. The entire property, all from the main street all the way to the plant of McCain's and SVC, Lee Boulevard, and Import-Export Service at Columbia Coast and Lineage, all the way to the winery orchards, all the way to Franklin County, and Adams County, Franklin County, and Benton County, which this says number option 3. And that's the 18 years of Farm Bill. That's pretty much 2038. That's a long time. So with this swipe's going to charge you credit card, cash, ATB, WS, WASH, ESE, OFFS, financial recovery payment, child support service, third vendor, and on these vendors acceptable. You can bring the live agent into this office and leave him with Andy Miller. And you can negotiate the murder scene. The murder scene pretty much is a murder scene here. Change in office hours service response to Soviet County emergency declarations. Starting Wednesday, March 18th, the 2:20 at 1 p.m. prosecutor will be closed. Person visits the public and retain the week or someone believed emergency need for person please. 509-735-3591. An alternative, what's his first and last signature, Miss Dawn Trump and Annie Miller's signature, and Fabian Barela's signature, Roberta Barela, Lola Hernandez, and Jay Mueller's administration signature. Starting management on March 23rd, 2020, prosecutor. Staffing and essential employees and elite non-essential employees will continue to work. Prosecuting office expected to reopen public on Monday, April 13, 2020. And this is approximately, voice activation says April 9th, 11:02 a.m. So the circumstances has arise to touch on your, please contact the surveillance areas. As you can tell, the water issuance and running and swimming activities, and they're going to have to do the test for the antibiotic steroid use for freakish strength and unnormal freakish strains, and also so unnormalities, blood tests are negative on everything. Since you have gonorrhea, syphilis, Mr. Gerald Johnson, Green Beret, Leonard Bambach, gonorrhea, syphilis, and also filling with staff members and services are contaminated in many, many ways. Mr. J. Mueller, Administration, United States Air Force, contaminated in many ways, and Amy Mueller leaves him with Blaze. His name's Blaze, and J. Mueller wants him dead. Mr. J. Mueller wants Daryl Johnson dead. And also the Mueller Administration Office at the coroner's office, they told them to stay away from Felix Barela. So Andy Miller has a stationary STD service on the SAT service for these evicted victims. Right here it says payment options. See, Jay Mueller gets a credit card, and I got a credit card. Frank Kaminsky and Amy Mueller got a credit card. Andy Miller gets a credit card. Donald Trump gets a credit card. Ivanka Mumu Ganja and the services of the red line got credit cards, and all their services and payments are paid in full. Now we're going to say again, Mr. Danny Miller entrance exit was on the west side of the building. The entranceway where he went in to look all the inventory devices in the conference room is located on the 50 by 50 on the blue sector conference room. As you can see, zero in on that. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, E, F. And that's a federal court and processing information. And Carol J. BENZEL, the district court judge, and also Mr. Brandon West was served by Mr. McKenna Law Firm, and the McKenna Law Firm with the co-stations with Mr. McGee. That Mr. McGee has that beautiful AM irrigation facility Amarillo contract parked in Mr. Anna Miller and administration on Sandy Strong's parking spot, the Commissioner Doug Dixie listing, Mr. Lola, and John Hernandez. Washington State federal employees, because the increments are on George Washington House and they're on payroll. Now the Benton County Justice Department has superseded for this $2 billion contract. Mr. Donald Trump, of course, Mr. Bill Gates having beautiful Father Tom, Father Dylan, Father Richard, and Father Animal, making sure this process be left not in distraught and leaving a small dead baby on the floor at Cimaron 5 INC at the banquet party restaurant bar. Ajmer Singh Nijjar, Kandar, Mandeep, and also Jasmine. And that's Rami, and of course, Nindu, and as Miss Mandeep Kaur, and grandfather, mother, father, administrative father, and also administration office, and Kandar, and grandfather, grandmother, and also Lola Hernandez, John Hernandez recommends for the direct deposit here in Fresno on Hedges, Fresno courtroom for Superior Court, District Court, and Municipal Court, and also the Administration Office. And Mrs. Nancy Pelosi and Ronald Reagan, Mr. Ronald Reagan at the Cliff Motel and playing for their Pismo Beach residence. This is where on the second floor. So location would be number blue. Ad machine, and also fire extinguishers within distance. You can look at the fire issue and incident, the fire alarm pull. You can pull this fire alarm right here. And we can locate Mr. Andy Miller in 3.4 seconds because his entranceway from the port entranceway with the key, G, and also the G number 5, adjacent to the staircase emergency exit services. But the water lines and the pipe lines and all the water lines are busted. They're leaking everywhere, and optical wire. They're digging into the Connaught address and the Connaught and the Benton POD address. They're digging into the 4th flank north building, and connections and optical wire they're trying to dig into, since the optical wire and the service are shown that the number 2 entrance exitway on the north side of the building, and also the lobby entranceway towards the east side of the building, but there is a walkway entrance on top of the roof. So there's an unfinished prudential and the central services location as well in the back entrance room that connects us to the administration office in the back area where the back recovery Microsoft program equipment is upstairs. Oh yeah. It's only $35 million. We'll hire as many as lawyers again. It's not against the law across the street. It's definitely not a law. Consume all H2O products. And definitely no problem with receiving and writing payment stubs and services for options 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, this is beautiful imaging. Look at this live virus.